Thank you very much. A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to, of course, our beautiful press conference. My name is Derek Aini, and I'll be your moderator for this particular evening. It's an honor to have you here, and we'll be having a press launch for another charity that's going to be happening, of course, in this particular beloved country, the Pearl of Africa. And we're talking about none other than Simil Senior Life. Now, of course, this is to do with putting smiles on the faces of the elderly. I'll let the managing director, of course, pick it on from here. Over to you, Simba, once again.
And thank you for the media for coming. My name is Simba, and I'm sure you've had the introduction for our project. We did not just start from Norway, we actually started from the ground. We went around the country, speaking to different people, trying to understand the actual problem. So there's no way you can understand unless you speak to the people on the ground and make them speak what they actually want. Because as an organization, we wanted to give them a product, something they actually need. So I've got my fellow directors. This is Edith. She's an administrative director. She's been on the ground. And on my right side, I've got Mildred. She is the project director with experience in the health sector in the UK, more than 20 years. So as a team, we all come with different skills, and they were all relevant. We decided to use the skills that they have to create a package. So it's basically for the whole country. But the reason why we are in full patrol, we chose to start from there. As you know, we couldn't start all over the country. That's impossible. So we had to start from the basics to see how it works. So when we opened the Fed Center, there's oversubscription was people that wanted to join was just too much. And Edith will tell you she had stress turning away people. And she was really stressed out. I mean, getting people coming all sorts of hours wanting to be part of this journey. So right now, there are more people who want to join. But however, we are not focusing on one district. We are focusing on the whole country, but our template based on one area to another area to another area. And that's why part of we're here as well, to get the publicity that we want as well.
As you grow up, you grow wrinkles on your face. You don't look very nice. So that sets in the problem of stigma. Old people are stigmatized. In the village, they are branded witches just because of the way they look. You can imagine how traumatizing that can be. We also identified shelter as one of the problems. You find an old person sleeping in a makeshift shelter. The rain comes, they have nowhere to hide. They don't have proper beddings, even clothing. You find someone sleeping in one gomez and then that wrap over cloth, and then he sleeps in it. She goes to dig with it, and she goes to church in it. Even these old people cannot cultivate, even if there is land. And most of them don't even have the land. He can take 2 days just drinking water and what do you call it, dry tea, black tea, without even sugar. So they lack proper balanced diet. That one aggravates their health problems. The problems are very many, very many. These are just part of them.
Before we go further, just to make you understand why we started the project. As you know, everything starts from a vision, and we're obviously of trying to drive the vision, but there was a person who had a dream, and that person who actually came up with the idea that there is a crisis that we need.
We people of Uganda, we don't know what to do with old people. We're lacking knowledge to what we can do for old people, how we can behave towards old people, how we can help old people. Okay, my thinking was, if we can come up and help old people that we can get in hold of, would make a difference. Making a difference in a way that now SSL has started things like getting them to a center whereby they can meet each other and talk. As Edith said, loneliness in old age is very, very, very common. And this is the reason why most people, more especially in Uganda, are dying at the old age, because they don't get help, the help they want. They don't get to say it because they don't have anybody who cares for them. So SSL comes in a way that we are bringing these people to talk to each other, share problems, and probably solve it for themselves. That's one thing. SSL is coming in as well as to exercise. We all know that when you grow old, you have other comorbidities that will stop you from exercising. Again, loneliness can stop you from exercising. So now, in SSL centers, we're hoping to have centers all over the country so that we can help people to come in and exercise. Right now, the center that we have, we are doing exercises in a way of dancing, and they really, really love that. Though we haven't started yet, is art and craft, which can actually help psychologically, physically, and financially. So we're hoping to do art and craft, things like baskets, things like knitting, crochets, other things that, painting. We established that there are so many old people who miss some of the things like painting, doing crochets, and they miss that because they don't have income to start that. So we grow old. There is a disease called dementia, which commonly affects old people. If these people have art and craft, it helps them to fight dementia in a way to stop the forgetfulness.
Do go through talking about loneliness, lack of food, like they did mention. So what we're trying to do here is make sure that we give them a reason as to why they should smile by giving them some of these things that they have missed, the basic needs, the exercises that they do need in order to, improve on their healthy lives. And remember, maybe Simba didn't forget to mention the objective of this particular charity, but the objective is to be the #1 charity of its kind in Africa. So hard work starts now, and we believe that the hard work is starting now. And then on the other hand, I did mention about the mission, which is bringing smiles to the older generation in variety of ways. So that's basically what we'll be doing. And Porto, at this point in time, I think we should allow the journalists who have questions. All you need to do is raise your hand. I'll bring the microphone to you. You mention your name, the media house you come from, and then you state your question.
So many that you might have a good plan, but there are so many people who might come in and contribute to the downfall of the program. So how are you prepared to take on this? And that's a good idea. I love it.
Okay, good question. Yes, it's a challenge, there's no doubt. And that's why we said we are just driving the vehicle, but SSL, as I've made it clear to you, is for the people, by the people, to the people. That means everybody's got a role to play. You are the journalist as well, as long as you understand what's actually needed. You're writing stuff about it, this helps to drive. But us running the organization, we also got
We are going to write proposals to the government, to the international organizations, to the local councils, local people, to come to the aid of these old people because they are really, really suffering.
Are you also going to take up that cost of the school fees, or you only going to provide food? And more so, how are you going to help them on children who produce and take the children there and then they don't provide anything?
SSL is for only people aged 65 and above. We only look after old people. If they have grandchildren, we urge you for Ugandans, please, 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 look after your young children. For us, we are there to look after old people, help them, feed them. We're not giving no money because we don't have it, but we can help in other things, socially and psychologically.
That district, or is it going to be a whole?
No, it's the same to you as well. These are just templates. As you know, we have to start from somewhere. And our research was out all over the country, but we couldn't start from everywhere. We had to start from somewhere. So we started the first one, and within about 2 weeks, we were oversubscribed. And that's why now we went to Karago and Foot Patrol. But however, we expect, and we are going to do that, we are going to, once we know this template is on place now, we are going to start moving district by district, and we go further.
So what I would like to know, what criteria do you take to choose like the elderly you're going to look after?
As long as they are 65 and above, they are welcome.
And to answer your question about where are we based, I think because this is not an easy project, like what the other guy said, but a lot of people start and then they fail. So we just realized that if we're going to have one trick pony, it's not going to work. So that's why we, based in the UK, I've got experience in running organizations and the media and politics, and she's got experience in the health sector in the UK, so she's seen it all. And then Edith, she knows this country in and out, and she deals with people, she's got skills with people. So they're all different skills, but they all come together. So we are based in the UK. Obviously, it helps us to raise money. But on the ground, we are registered in both countries. In this country, so we can function legally. But in the UK as well, for us to be able to raise some money, we had to be registered. So that's why we're registered for both. So in a way, you can say it's a Ugandan organization with another base in the UK, but here we are on the ground. So,
are you looking for only funds, getting help, or you can also get partners to help you along the journey?
What we have in mind is, yes, we're looking for funds, but we want to do our own projects to fund ourselves.
So we cannot finish without the summary from Edith, because whatever we say on the ground, she's been the lady who's been seeing what's happening. So Edith, you can expand a bit on that and the challenges you're facing.
The challenge is big. When you call like 50 people, you are mobbed. They come like 200. They all sit there. They want food. They want something to. They want something to put on. They come there. They start telling you their problems, and you look on helplessly. So we need help. It's an appeal.
And we all know that there's a marathon that is going to be happening in Fort Portal. So how about you do a little bit more of explanation regarding the kits and how can someone get in touch in case they're interested in doing some running? Thank you.
As what someone asked before, what are the plans we have in fundraising and selling kits, and we've got an official launch coming on the 14th and 15th of June in Fort Portal. And we're going to have Mildred to expand more on it. And I'm going to pass on to Mildred so she can expand a little bit more on the kids.
As Simba has just said, the run is on the 15th of June. And we will have sponsored work for old people because we want to involve them as well. So they will walk. The ones who can walk, the ones who can't walk, the ones who have wheelchairs, they can use those ones. The ones who can't walk, we'll stay with them. But for the sponsored run, we have our kids here, which I hope there are so many people who know HENHA. We have HENHA services who are volunteers who have come in to help us into doing the launch. So that's our first contact. The kits are reasonably priced, and they will be out, and we'll be selling them to raise the money, obviously, for looking after old people and probably making the projects that we need to help the old people.
All right, thank you very much. Just a couple of last words coming in from the managing director himself.
Yeah, once more, thank you all for coming. And we just want to thank a few people for making this possible. We've got a team that has made the organization today possible, and the launch itself for the 14th or 15th. One person is Mr. Martin, who's sitting out there. Without him, that would have been difficult. And thank you also to Harriet. She's not here, but she's one of the greatest event directors in the country, called Henha. But definitely make it in your points. We are officially launching this project on 15th of June in Fort Portal. There will be a fundraising on the day. By the people, to the people, that means everybody's got a role to play.